Hey there, folks. It's another edition of Time About the Movies. Let's go ahead and wrap up the month of March 1990, March 30th. Only two movies to look at today, and we'll start off with not only one of the biggest hits of the year, but also one of the more influential movies of the 1990s, and that is, of course, the feature film adaptation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So naturally, we kids of the 90s ate this shit up, and we loved every single moment of it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, what really can you say? It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in live action with Jim Henson's puppet shop, like the Creature Shop, and it's a pretty damn good movie. It's a movie that still holds up to this very day. It's a faithful adaptation to not only the TV series but also the comic books as well. But it's just a great movie overall. It's a movie that still holds up to this very day. The performances are still very good. It knows what the kids want, but it also knows when to take its time. It knows when to take a break, let the emotions play a part in the movie. Because there are a lot of heavy moments in this movie, more than I think anybody would have ever expected from something called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's a wonderful movie. It's just a great movie that still holds up. If you love the Ninja Turtles, you can see this movie and be like, this still holds up on so many levels. What a lot of people don't really talk about this movie is how it was also an independent film, too. For the longest time, they didn't have anybody backing the movie up. They just had an independent budget on their own. They took this to Disney. They didn't want it. Columbia Pictures didn't want it. MGM didn't want it. Neither did Orion. Paramount, who had actually later acquired the Turtles franchise, and Warner Brothers, which still holds the rights to this movie as of today. But New Line Cinema, which eventually got sold into Warner Brothers, decided to take a chance on it because they were just a small independent company, even though they produced the Friday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, they would get the Friday the 13th movies after Paramount let it go, but they produced the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and this movie just really took them to another level. They were in the middle of production, and they went into this without a studio to back them up. And so the fact that this made as much money as it did, it was the highest grossing independent movie for a long time. Like, I think not until the Blair Witch Project near the end of the decade did that record get surpassed. But yeah, it's an interesting story on how this movie got made and how it became an independent film at first and then became a studio film towards the end of its production, and how it really shaped most of the family comedies and movies that we'd see in the 1990s. We'll see several movies like that. We already saw Pretty Woman last week, and then we'll have Ghost and Home Alone coming up in this year as well. But like I said, Ninja Turtles is just a ton of fun. This first movie is just a classic movie. It still holds up to this very day. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie that takes a lot of chances, takes a lot of risk, and most of it does pay off. There are silly moments in here, but those are right from the TV series or right from the comic books. There are serious moments, but that's right from the comic books. It's just a movie that just, you could tell the people who made this movie knew the source material, knew what they wanted to do, and it just worked. It just worked on so many levels, like not a movie like Masters of the Universe years prior just didn't have the opportunity to do. So anyway, yeah, that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one. Still the best movie of the original series, maybe the best movie in the Turtles franchise, but we'll get to the other ones when we get to the other ones. So that's my thoughts on Ninja Turtles. Let's go ahead and move on to the second movie. It was Dana Carvey's feature film leading debut, and that is Opportunity Knocks. I mean, if you have to resort to using the church lady to promote your movie, chances are the movie itself is not very good. And Dana Carvey, outside of Wayne's World, his track record in terms of movies he makes is not as strong. In fact, some might say it's downright terrible with stuff like this movie, Clean Slate, and The Master of Disguise. But the movie just looked like a low-rent Fletch. I mean, this looked like a movie that was trying to be like Fletch, except they didn't have the costumes and all that kind of stuff that would later become something in Dana Carvey's other movie, Master of Disguise. In fact, they even mentioned that in this trailer. Not a coincidence, but, or maybe it is, I don't know. Conspiracy theory time. Anyway, Opportunity Knocks, it was just a generic comedy. It didn't really do that much for me. It's one of those movies, like I said, it felt like a cheaper version of Fletch. Like they didn't have the money for the costumes or the makeup or anything, so they just said, just do impressions, Dana Carvey, and that'll be the whole movie. And it just didn't work. It was a movie that just didn't work. Quickly forgotten. It's a movie that not a lot of people even talk about, but there's probably a good reason why. So, quick review, but Opportunity Knocks is not a very good movie, so opportunity denied. I don't even know why I did that. And with that said, that's going to wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. We jump into the month of April next time around with 6 movies to look at, including Ernest Goes to Jail, The First Power, I Love You to Death, Crybaby, John Waters' first mainstream release with Johnny Depp, Impulse, and The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. So we'll look at those 6 movies next time around. So thank you guys for watching. As always, if you want to see more videos like this, check out the playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another new episode. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, take care.